Welcome everybody to another episode of Anime Ups and Downs, where we take the good parts of the anime, give them an up, or we give them a down for the bad part. From the warm reception we got in the last episode, we're trying to make this a series. I got 4 animes for you that we will be reviewing just like last time. We have Chainsaw Man, Bleach, My Hero Academia, and Bluelock, 4 of the most hype animes that we're watching right now, and they're on that hype list. So we're going to see if they are the most hype animes or not. Please go ahead, like, subscribe, throw a comment down. Tell me if you want to see any other animes on this show. And just like I told you guys last time, I have not read the mangas, so I am along for the ride with you guys by watching the anime and only by watching the anime. So let's get into it. Our first one we are talking about today is Bleach. We get our start again back with Bleach, where we see the Tres Vistas, and they're just had them a mud hole stomped up in their faces. They laying on the ground, sprawled out, beat up, and Ichigo's like, "Hey, what's up, Stern Ritter J? You want to get this whooping or what? You want to get this work?" Yamamoto, Captain Commander, says, "Yo, we are preparing for war." So apparently we're about to get a war, and we're gonna learn why later. But in our first instance, I'm giving a big up to my man Ichigo, because Stern Ritter J says, "Yo, take these arrows," and he says, "No." And he grabs them and he throws them right back, even though Stern Ritter J say, "Hey, I got you dead to rights." He just wipes it off like it's nothing. We're giving that man Ichigo straight up right there, first up of the freaking episode, because Stern Ritter J finally said that they are Quincy's, but they're Quincy's that have evolved, right? Stern Ritter J also makes reference to Ishida and says, I seem to be powerful than him. I should be. Why does he know him? Or why doesn't Ishida know about Stern Ritter J, but Stern Ritter J knows about Ishida? I don't like the fact that Ishida is off in the dark, which we find out a little bit later in a cutscene, or not a cutscene, but in a scene with his father, Ryokin. I forget. I think that's how you say his name. He's like, "Hey, you ain't gonna find anything in this library." Ishida starts to look around, poking through all the books. How are you not gonna know about your history when you're the last Quincy? But he finds a book about his dad from his grandpa, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. We then get to see Stern Ritter J change into his final form, kind of like in Rancor, right? So these guys seem to be more stronger, or excuse me, they are stronger than a Rancor. We get to see the final form, and it's called Quincy Vol Stern Dish. I don't know how to say it. It's like German or something, right? The Quincy seem to be German. But nonetheless, we get to see his next form, and he's pretty much kind of a beast. And Ichigo hits him with the Getsuga Tensho, but in typical fashion, he tries something like the Getsuga Tensho, and the Quincy's just like, "No, no, no." He takes it and he's just like, "Nah, bro, that ain't doing nothing." Big Boss Man says, "Let's invade. We're invading. We're giving the Quincy's up," because they said, "Let's get this war started." Although civil societies kind of might get it down, because it doesn't look like they're ready. They got days, and this man's already waging war. So we get to see Ichigo get blasted away by Stern Ritter J, and we're like, "Well, there goes Ichigo, man, getting beat up again." Or Aeon, the Thresh Beast, this big old beast that they get from their arm, steps in and starts beating up Stern Ritter. They're like, But Aeon, you get it down. You want to know why you get it down? You get it down for the simple fact you didn't finish the job. You always finish the job, Aeon. You didn't finish it. You stomped him, and then you got your ass whipped later. He didn't even get his ass whooped. He got sucked up into his next form by the wings, and now he's a part of Stern Ritter J. Stern Ritter J gets a up, but Aeon, you get it down because you didn't finish the job, and you ran in there recklessly and got absorbed. But I digress. Aeon gets it down. We also come to find out after Aeon gets absorbed that there was a Quincy extermination operation while Ishida is reading his grandfather's book. We find out that they've always been at war, even though that the Soul Society and the Soul Reapers approached the Quincy's and said, "Hey, we got to talk about this." The Quincy's were met like a brick wall and said, hey, get out my face. Like, we're not talking about this. So that's where this war is coming from. And I'm interested to see. But my boy Yamamoto, Captain Commander, you, Captain Commander, and I mean it, look at me, Captain Commander. You could have stopped this war by stopping His Majesty, and you didn't. You let him go. You let him go. You could have fixed it, and you didn't. Down. Big Boss Man gets back to Soul Society. He's wrecking the place. He brings his Stern Ritters, and you know what? I'm so angry. I'm angry again. You look at me, Bleach. You look at me. How you gonna kill off Kira like that? Spoilers, guys. How you gonna kill Kira off like that? You telling me we ain't gonna get to see Wabisuke anymore? Bow your head, Wabisuke, and now he got his whole shoulder blown off. The Stern Ritters of Kira. Yeah. So all in all, it was a great episode of Bleach. Kept me on the edge of my seat. There's some stuff that I'm mad about because I'm not going to get to see like Kira. Aeon got his tail whooped. But you know what? Ichigo came back in at the end, shattered this little halo that Stern Ritter J had and said, guess what? Now you normal. I can fight you. And he had his Bankai out, so we're loving it. All right? Let me mention that. We're loving it. But this episode, up. We'll give it up. We had some down moments, but it was still a great episode. We're giving it up. First episode down. Let's move on to the next. Coming in next up is My Hero Academia, where they left us on a cliff, and it starts off exactly where we stopped. Shigaraki is awake. They let that man wake up. Hexless decides to blow up a freaking a machine. Like, yeah, that's left over. Let me blow it up. And in turn, an electrocution goes through the water and wakes Shigaraki up. Hexless, you dumb, stupid person, you. How could you do that? Why would you do? Why? Just leave it alone. You're getting it down, Hexless. And then you got the full-on decay and you're dead. You're dead. You played yourself. Down for good old Hexless. But we got Endeavor. He's still fighting the Nomus. Mirko's still alive, so that gets enough. The fact that they're still alive. But you know what does get it down? The freaking heroes showing up just now, getting there late. You guys suck. What took you so long? You're useless. You're getting it down. Next up, we got our boy Dabi and freaking Hawk still fighting. It looks like Dabi's about to kill Hawk, and you know what? Who comes to the rescue? Fumikage. Fumikage, you beautiful person with your shadow, coming to save our boy Hawk, one of my favorites right now personally, although I'm mad at you because you weren't prepped for fire. But he comes to the rescue, saves our boy Hawk, and we're getting up. But at the same time, he almost got his tail handed to him. And our boy Ginton, who's a villain we know nothing about, decides to freeze everything. But that is okay. He saved Fumikage, he saved Hawk, so we're giving it up. So we got Midori and his classmates hanging out still in the city, trying to evacuate all the people. Midori's not exactly right frame of mind. He's got voices coming in his head. He's not sure who it is. He thinks it's one for all, but he's not sure why that person's popping up or interfering right now, giving the voices. Not bad, what's going on, but I'm not sure where it's going to go. We'll see what happens soon. Like I said, I haven't read the manga, so I'm here for the ride like you guys. You know, then we got our boy Jet. He's still here, the old man saving the day. He snatches up Mike and takes off flying and was like, everybody get away. And you know what happened? Shigaraki himself leveled a whole city with his decay. Damn. Todoroki and Midoriya see the wreckage coming towards them, the decay. They think it's just like a wind burst. Midoriya hits him with a move and doesn't work. Todoroki hits him with the move, doesn't work. Come on, heroes, you gotta get your act together. But the fact that they're working together a little bit, we're getting some story elements here, and we're seeing just how strong Shigaraki's decay is. I'm giving that up as well. So you know what? For all, this episode of My Hero Academia is getting a big fat up. We're doing better than last week because Miracle's still alive, Hawk is still alive, and we got to see things pop off. We've been waiting for it. And then Shigaraki tells the big dude, the big guy, like, what's up, man? Hey, we got stuff to do. Let's go. So we're gonna get to see that. We got another cliffhanger, man. They're just leaving us cliffhanger after cliffhanger, but I'm cool with it. And I can't wait to see what develops. So overall, up. Next up on the list, we got Chainsaw Man, and we pick up where we left off from the previous week, where Power had just created a blood hammer and smashed the devil, and then there's just Denji there. Makima is there kind of scolding him, talking to him like, hey, you need to keep this girl in check. And she was like, he made me do it. And Denji's like, you're absolutely wrong. I didn't make you do a damn thing. So, but all the while, we still got Denji with this thing, man. This man just loves him some boobs. He just wants to cop a feel. He said, hey, man, I still haven't got to cop a feel. But you know what? The fact that they can use this against my man and Power does that. Power, I don't like you right now. You're using the boobs against my man. Even though my man, I love my man's right now for that. I'm starting to grow on me, that he likes the boobs and stuff. It's just a funny perk of it, but you're getting used up against you. So we're gonna kind of give that a neutral strike because on one hand I like it, on the other hand, Power used against him. Power, you're getting a down for that, but at the same time, Denji, you're getting up because I love your attitude towards it. And what man doesn't like him a good pair of boobs? She usually did against Denji because she had a pet named Meowie and she just wanted him back. She's like, hey, if you help me get Meowie back, you can feel it on my chest. You know what I'm saying? No, you stop it, Denji. You stop. Stop thinking with the wrong head and you know what I'm talking about. Denji go ahead and checks out Power, gets her out there and says, you know what, let's go get Meowie. But on the way there, things didn't add up and Denji's like, what did you say? And Power backstabs my boy Denji. They were gonna be, I thought the character development was gonna be that they're clashing and they come together to fight a common evil. But no, no. Power stabs Denji in the back. Down for you, Power. You get another down. You are terrible for this episode right now. I don't like you. You're using it against my boy. So she betrays him, takes him into this house, and pretty much feeds his blood to this big ass bat that has stolen Meowie from him. He gets his arm back, and at the same time, is like, yo, I'm out. I'm gonna go eat me some people. Power tries to get Meowie back, and the bat's like, oh, you know what? Since you brought me some disgusting blood, which he considered Denji's blood disgusting, I'm gonna go ahead and eat this cat right here named Meowie. Eats the cat, and then Power, feeling some type of way, just lets the bat eat her too. So, kind of good riddance. Interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen. Maybe she just went into the stomach to get her Meowie back, and so because it looked like he just swallowed her whole. And at the same time, the bat takes off. And you know what? Denji springs into action, grabs onto his leg, and says, hey, I'm still here, motherfucker. I'm still here. So he's climbing up in the sky with him, and he just says, I didn't get the Copperfield. So my boobs is driving the man, but they holding him back at the same time. So I love it. He just likes a nice boob. Denji's up in the air with him, and I was like, I didn't get to feel my boob. So he rips the cord, he turns into the chainsaw man, cuts off the bat's arm and his wing. They plummet down to the ground. They're down there fighting, and he says, I just want my boob. But the bat hits him with a freaking shriek, sends him flying into a wall. And I'm loving the action. The action of this episode is amazing, along with the art. The art and the action are holding it, so we're getting a double up right there. Denji comes out of the smoke and says, yo, I still haven't copped a feel. He cuts off his other arm, slices him up, and then it ends. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Did he just end like that? You left me on a cliffhanger. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. He's starting to slice this bat up. Maybe we'll see Power come back out. Maybe we'll see Meowie come back out. We don't know. Stay tuned. But this episode, whereas I didn't like Power, but I did like Denji. What do y'all think? I guess I'll give it an up. And we are back with some Bluelock. Now, this episode seemed a little bit weird with its pacing. And I kind of get it, and it's what it's leading up to, and they're starting to get into what everybody's able to do, and they're starting to build the characters. So let's get into it, right? So we pick up where we left off, where the guys are like, "Yo, we just lost, so we got to figure something out. We got to figure out a strategy." They came up with a strategy. Let's highlight everybody's attribute. My boy Isagi is still not figured out what his strength or skill is. Bro, it's your eyes. It's your eyes, and you haven't figured it out, but he does figure it out eventually. Now, we're going to give them an up because they're definitely trying to work as a team. They're finally starting to get it, even though Ego, the main guy that put them in this facility, is trying to tell them, like, yo, y'all can't be having that. I need somebody that is just malicious, that's a killer, that wants to just be there and is going to hog the ball and is going to win us games. But they're seeing that they still have to work as a team, but they're all offensive minded. So we do get Asagi and Kunagami eating, and Kunagami is like, "Yo, maybe that's your like. How? Why did you pick me to pass to? The other guy was just as open." Well, he said it was just kind of a feeling, you know. I just kind of saw it, like it just felt right. This reminds me so much of like the Emperor Eye and the Hawkeye from Kuroko's basketball, but it's amazing. Kunagami is there and it's like, yo, I get extra meals, so check this out. We're giving Ganami up because he gave our boy Asagi a meal, because Asagi's still all the way down on the totem pole. He's second to last in the whole thing, and he's still just eating some crap food. Then we get these boys, they get their next match. They got their next match, and it's against Team Y. And we gotta watch out for who? Who you say? Hibiki, number 9. Now, I don't like you, you freaking devilish son of a gun. You, Hibiki is that guy that just waits and just waits until the land is like, ooh, when can I attack? And we find out that the heart and soul is not Hibiki. He's just a pawn used by Nico. And we're gonna find out more about Nico in a second. So they're highlighting their attributes, or excuse me, their skills. They're each one gets 10 minutes in front, and they're trying to push it down for Barachi. Tries to do his dribbling thing, doesn't quite work. Kunagami tries to shoot, doesn't work. Nothing is working. And what happens? Number 9, Hibiki himself gets the ball, he scores. And it just enraged me because I thought our boys were going to start doing something. So I'm giving Hibiki a down because you a punk. I don't like you. You're just not a good guy. And you know what? You're getting it down. So they finally get the ball back after a half of having to play run around and chase the ball. They get the ball back, they dribble down, and Asagi passes it, and they almost score. And then it's a corner kick. And Asagi's like, wait a minute. It's not Hibiki we have to work at. It's Nico. And he marks Nico. He catches up to him because the whole team had overcommitted. And they're like, no, you're not going to do us dirty. And he intercepts the ball from Nico. And what happens? He's trying to score. He doesn't score, but the other guy on the team scores. And he's like, nice pass. And he's like, yeah, buddy, it was a pass, but it really wasn't a pass. He was trying to shoot, but they ended up scoring. We're tied at 1-1, and we get Nico and Isagi face to face, and he's like, "You have eyes like mine, bro." This is some stuff out of some Sharingan type, Naruto type, Kuroko basketball. We have eyes. I love this episode, although left off on a cliffhanger. All the hype ass animes right now leaving us off on cliffhangers, but this episode's getting a big up. I loved it. It almost felt, I thought it was going to be filler at first, and it was going to piss me off, but you know what? We got into some nitty gritty storytelling, so it gets him up. Well, thank you everybody. That was another episode of Anime Ups and Downs. Hope to see you next time. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. We're on our way to 500 subs. We're trying to get there. We're trying to get to that illustrious 1,000 subs. Hopefully, maybe by the end of this year or early next year. So please share this out, get it out there, and comment down below if you want to see me do any of the other animes. If I'm caught up on it and I'm enjoying the anime, I'll definitely throw it in there. We're trying to look at the ones that are most hype and the ones that everybody enjoys. I wouldn't mind adding some more anime in here. I watch anime as much as I can, but I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I will catch you guys later. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you guys later here on Anime Ups and Downs.